Ladies, gentlemen, Australopithecus, Animalocatus, Hyquilla, and other forms of various life who are watching my YouTube channel. KTM here. I need to stop snapping. Remember a while ago when I made a comment in one of my videos about a novel I was working on? Well, I thought I'd just give you a little aside video about that, just for the hell of it. I warn you, it's a fantasy novel, so if you're not into that thing, you might as well leave. Yes. So let me explain a little bit about the back setting, because that's really the only part I've gotten 100% down in solid cement, and I've been working on this idea for about 6 years now. I'm not kidding. It keeps changing. The original idea was something completely different, involving giant fucking space meteors and an evil wizard who reminded me too much of Ganondorf. Not that I don't like Ganondorf, he's the best goddamn villain there ever was! But I'm getting off topic. So here's the backstory setting. First, let me tell you about something in the story. There are gods, and there are spirits. Gods are just hyperdimensional alien beings who come down to Earth to fuck with us and make us worship them. They have technology beyond even our modern-day understanding. Please remember that this book is written in medieval times. I really shouldn't call it that because it's not really medieval-ish. And basically they're just selfish, but some of them are pretty funny. Then there are spirits. Basically, if you think something has power, if you think something has control over you and something is grander than you could ever possibly imagine, that thing gets a spirit. And the more people who believe as you do, the more powerful that spirit becomes. And at this time, most people being scared to death of any natural disaster, the most powerful spirit is, of course, Mother Nature. This will be very important. There are 10 provinces and a no-man's land, and this was all set up after a huge war where everyone almost died. So what they did is, well, they gave everyone their own little territory. Everyone got what they wanted. No one can really remember what anyone wanted because the war was so long ago. But ever since then, there's basically been peace. A few skirmishes here and there between certain areas, but each area has its own little culture, its own little ideas, its own set of principles, and its own ruling government. During this time, they decided to create a, worldwide accepted system of money, a worldwide accepted system of language, and a worldwide accepted system of measurement. This was a pretty good idea. There was one people who did not give up their language, and that's why I've been working on the language. Shenzik. The Shenziks of the desert did not give up their language. And when you read the book, you'll see why. Basically, the story starts off a little like this. There's a mage, crazy mage, who, after some horrific experience or something or other, I haven't really decided yet, decides that the reason people fight, the reason people die, the reason people argue is because they are different. And he thinks that if he makes everybody the same, literally the same, that the world will be a better place because everyone will think the same and therefore everyone will be the same. So what he decides to do is start using a type of magic called harmonizing magic, which basically makes one thing look exactly like another. He starts going around and starts using this magic on natural things, on plants, on animals, and he starts using it there. Mother Nature, of course, sees this and realizes that she's being affected by it, because she would be. She is nature. If someone's harmonizing nature, she too will be harmonized. What that exactly means for a spirit, no one knows, but it can't possibly be good. Anyway, so Mother Nature realizes that if this goes on, then she's screwed. And she decides the only way to stop him is to do 3 things. First of all, put herself into hibernation. This will dramatically slow the takeover of her body from the harmonizing magics. Problem with this is it will still happen. It'll just be very, very slow. So, to make sure that this guy actually dies, she forgoes her powers and gives them up to 6 mortals. Fire, water, earth, air, lightning, metal are the elements, and they all go to people. And there they are, given the power to control nature, but they are not aware of the fact that they have this power. So to make sure that they are aware, she just decides to a daughter right out of midair. Weird, huh? Yeah, basically pulls a Jesus. Except, well, the daughter has no father. She was literally conjured from nothing. She is her own character. She has her own sets of thoughts and ideals, which may or may not agree with what her mother wants her to do. And, well, that's the only character I'm really willing to talk about because she's the one I've developed the most. I will say this, though. You know the scrolly credits at the end of every video I make? You know those little scrolly credits and how at the end there's always a name that you probably don't even recognize? Those are characters of mine. And, well, none of them, as far as I can tell, and I went and looked at what it said. None of them, as far as I could tell, were characters who I were going to have a definite they're in the story. Except for one. I won't tell you about her. I won't even tell you which particular one she is. I'm just going to sit here and attempt to stop laughing because if you knew who she was, you know what she did, you'd probably be laughing too. Oh my. She scares me. I made up a character who scares me. Only a little bit though. Only a little bit. Regardless. That's basically the gist of it, and that's all I've really got down pat and cement, and that's really all I want to say, because if I change my mind, I'm going to shoot myself over it. Yeah, if you want to know more, just post in the comments and I'll tell you more. Peace, love, flowers, mwah! Daughter out of thin air, fully grown and ready to kick ass, and fuck, the light went off. It always does this. You know why it takes me so long to record videos? Because the fucking light goes off. Ugh.